good, y'all, man? We got the Spider-Man 3 Green Goblin, you know what I'm saying, costume. Super Mario movie. Damn, another childhood movie. Just, damn, that's crazy. And the Flash villain and more, man. I ain't looking for that Super Mario shit. I ain't gonna lie, though. Y'all should make that as a game, call it a day. And, yeah, then we got some new news. We got a lot of news of Spider-Man, though. We have a new poster. You know what I mean? And now we got a costume of King, you know, of Green Goblin. So a lot of news popping up, man. A lot of news for Spider-Man this week. So yeah, it's a lot. But yeah, about to check it out, man. About to see, and yeah, let's get it.
So I'm a man of my word. I said I would buy
So yeah, his ass gonna really buy a costume.
this mask. I would order it that way. The Flash cringe you chose could be a lot more fun with a nice quality detailed mask. It came in the mail. I think I got scared.
Yeah,
One moment.
Oh, that ain't the right color. Ah, yeah, they did your ass dirty. They did his ass dirty. That ain't the right color and shit.
It's not so bad. I was really hoping it'd be that red.
That's what I was saying, though. Yeah, they finessed his ass. That's why I'm gonna be,
it's like brown.
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. Let's make your day a whole lot
$50
better by
though.
diving into some movie news.
It'd be worse. It'd be like 200. No cap.
Some of the things that we're gonna be discussing here today is we have an update on.
I'm gonna see what's going on with this movie though, man. They making any movie now. They made Sonic, which that's a good movie. That's a hell of a good movie though. But they making anything now. They making Red Cliff the Doll. They making Powerpuff Girls probably. They making Super Mario. Like, they bring everything that was back in the day, bringing it back to life. You know what I mean? Type shit. Like, they doing anything now. Like, if they got the money, they gonna do that shit. No cap.
On the Super Mario movie currently discussing here today is we have an update on the Super Mario movie currently in the works with Illumination Studios. A brand new character we were not expecting to show up in the film has just leaked. We're also going to be talking about some Godzilla vs. Kong bit.
Nice,
In a while since we've talked about my two good old.
Yeah, that's been a minute, but no, it was a good movie though. It wasn't my opinion though.
Fighting Titans. A lot of superhero movie updates here with Spider-Man No Way Home. Getting a description of all the costumes for the villains in that film. The director of Morbius spoiling the fact that a certain character shows up in the movie. And even details on the big bad guy in the upcoming Flash movie. So be sure you guys are dropping your opinions down below with all the movie news we discuss here today. It is not a side flick unless you're using your voice to be heard in that comment section. And if you want to make my day a little better, all you have to do is hit that like button or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. With that stuff out of the way, let's dive into our first story here today. And it's a bit of a technical one, but it's important for the landscape of the movie world. So obviously we just had the movie The Suicide Squad that premiered over the weekend in theaters and on HBO Max.
That movie was alright though. It was alright. I give it like a 7. A cool 7. Cool 7 though. I ended up
really loving the film. Sadly, it did not make the money that we were hoping it would.
Of course it's not. I've been saying that shit. It ain't gonna make the money. It's just you know, a cool film. You know, shit.
I hate using this word, especially in the era of the pandemic with all these movies.
Well, that do play a part of it though. I ain't gonna lie. I do play a part of it, but yeah.
Movies just making less than they potentially.
Romantic is not my middle name.
I just don't know what to do. So I went to 1-800-Flowers.com.
Good, but Suicide Squad with about $26 million definitely was a flop. Now the reason.
So it's got their budget was 185 and they only made 26. Wait, far from crying away from this budget. Yeah, oh yeah. So yeah, their budget was 185 and now they only made 26. Damn, that's a big ass L right there.
The reason I bring this up is because it ties into the story that we're going to be discussing here today, where Deadline reports that AMC Theaters has managed to make a deal with Warner Brothers about cutting down a 45-day theatrical window in 2022. Basically what that means right here is, you know how in the year of 2021 we could see Warner Brother movies in theaters and on HBO Max the exact same day. that is definitely going away in the year 2022. So movies next year like The Batman, the upcoming Flash movie, Black Adam, Aquaman 2, Fantastic Beasts 3, those are movies you're only going to be able to watch in theaters for the first 45 days of their release.
So no more HBO Max for these 45 days. Damn, I miss the HBO shit. I ain't gonna lie. I miss the HBO shit, man. Shit, I got that ain't. I was only on theaters. Well, they gotta make that money though, AMC though. I ain't gonna lie. But damn, that shit tough though. That shit tough for the people that, you know what I mean. That I ain't gonna lie though. That shit tough, man. Okay.
And then they'll possibly end up on HBO Max, the streaming service,
Again,
or be available to rent. And this is just one of the outcomes of the pandemic that's kind of monumental to the movie industry, because before this type of deal, the theatrical window was like 6 months, and now instead of that being like a 6-month window, it's down to 45 days, and it's just wild. I mean, I think it's still crazy right now that when movies like Godzilla vs. Kong or The Suicide Squad came out, I could see it in theaters, drive home, and see it on a streaming service in that instant. Like, that is mind-blowing to me. But it is also because of that reason that a lot of the Warner Brothers movies are just not making the amount of money they could. Also because since it's instantly put on the internet in HD 4K quality, it is gonna get pirated.
That's what I was saying. When it's on HBO Max, that shit ain't nobody going to theater. They like, oh, it's on HBO Max. Okay, let's go. Let's go home and watch it. You know what I mean? Like, they ain't watching that bit on. Like, some people is, but some people not though.
So much. So while it was a nice experiment that Warner Brothers made with HBO Max, and heck, I'm kind of happy they made that sacrifice, because if it wasn't for Godzilla vs. Kong taking that risk at the box office during a pandemic, we would not have gotten all these other movies coming out right now. Movie theaters would still be playing a game of chicken of like, no, you release your movie. No, you release your movie. I don't want to risk this bombing. Let me know how you guys are feeling on this theatrical window being cut because of their movies underperforming sometimes. Now jumping into some talk about the upcoming Super Mario movie that is in the works with Illumination Studio. I have been really hyped for this movie. This is the animated Super Mario movie that is officially licensed by Nintendo. We're still set to get this movie next year, even though we know very little. That's one thing about Nintendo. They really like to keep things close to the vest and secretive, but there's always somebody who ends up saying something
gonna link that motherfucker out.
And we just found out about a very D-list character in the Super Mario world that is going to be part of this movie that kind of opens our eyes to how this film is going to go down. Stand-up comedian Sebastian Maniscalco, hopefully I pronounced that right, is a comedian I have seen. I enjoy his work. I think he is pretty funny. And well, while doing a recent podcast, towards the end of this interview, when the host was asking him, hey, what are you gonna do for the rest of the day, he goes ahead and says this.
Tonight is what, Monday? Gonna go home.
What do you got the rest of the day?
I got I'm in the movie Super Mario Brothers, an animated movie. So I'm playing Spike, their boss.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna do that at 12.
Man, he just said like that. Damn. He like, I'm gonna watch Super Mario movie. He just damn. He ain't. Like, they probably ain't no contract or nothing. He just said fuck it.
That right
he
there.
Just say, he said fuck it. No cap.
Slip something he probably wasn't supposed to say.
That's what I was saying. Like, he said it so smoothly. Like, I'm gonna be on a Super Mario movie, and I'm gonna play Spike. You know what I mean? He said the characters too, like Spike. I'm like, damn, it remind me of Tom Holland. Like, he just say shit, and then you get in trouble afterwards. I know they probably tore his ass out after the interview. Like, you don't supposed to say that shit. You know what I mean? They probably call his ass or email his ass. I know they did. You know, that's like a couple of years though. But I don't know you supposed to announce it like that. Like, they told me I don't want to say shit. But yeah, I know they told his ass off. I ain't gonna lie.
But he admitted that he's gonna be playing the character of Spike,
like,
who's also the boss of the Mario Bros in the Super Mario movie. Now, if you look up the name Spike in the Mario world, there's about 2 characters that'll pop up. One that's like a little green monster, and the other one is Spike Foreman. I'm gonna go with my gut here and say that he's talking about Foreman Spike because that has a history of being the boss of the Super Mario Bros. Back in the 80s, there was a video game called Wrecking Crew where you had Mario and Luigi as these construction workers who were meant to build a wall, and in that video game, they had Foreman Spike, who was their boss, but also prevented them from doing a lot of their work. What this kind of lets us know in the Super Mario movie is it looks, instead of being plumbers, the Mario Bros, Mario and Luigi, could end up being construction workers in the Mushroom Kingdom, which I think kind of opens our eyes to what kind of people they're going to be portrayed as in the Super Mario movie, as the average Joe, just regular people in this town town. Then when Princess Peach gets kidnapped by Bowser, the seemingly average people, everyday workers of the Mario Bros step into action to save their kingdom's princess. Now, I could be completely off on that speculation, but it seems now like the Super Mario movie is gonna work as an origin story for these characters, kind of showing us how they became these heroes and then go from there. You guys hear these details involving the Super Mario movie?
I'm not looking forward to it, but I'll watch it though. I ain't looking forward to it, but I'll watch it. I ain't gonna lie.
Jumping into a movie we haven't talked about in a while, Godzilla vs. Kong. It is hard to believe that Godzilla vs. Kong came out this year because it feels almost like a lifetime ago when we were dealing with that.
I feel like it came out 2 years ago. Came out this year?
Posters, then the movie came out and I thought it came out March.
I
had a lot of fun with it, and I had even more fun making video updates with you guys. Well, it's time to get excited for the next couple of updates for this MonsterVerse, because even though we were in a pandemic, Godzilla vs. Kong was that movie that made a lot of studios feel confident about.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit made a hell of money, and it was like it was going, you know, everything was going on in the world. That shit still made money. I ain't gonna lie. Like everybody fuck with that shit. They're like, fuck it, we gonna watch this motherfucker.
Releasing their films in this era because it managed to make a good chunk of money. It showed that there was still life in this MonsterVerse, so they're gonna continue it, and we have
plus Godzilla and Kong. That's why.
Godzilla vs. Kong.
Hell yeah, it was Godzilla vs. That's why it was pop. Like, you know, saying of course two big, you know, famous people. You know what I mean? Godzilla and Kong. If it was somebody else, then they they won't make that much. But it's them too, of course, they're gonna make like a lot of money. No cap.
Teasing what the future of the franchise is. He goes ahead and says, I've heard some exciting things that are happening that I can't divulge. They have a great handle on things there, and I certainly have thoughts, and am always excited when I get involved with them. I think it's in good hands, and with the success of Godzilla vs. Kong, there will be some new, interesting installments coming. The key things I kind of took away from that statement is that he mentioned they're working on installments, meaning plural, meaning multiple movies. We already heard a while back that one of the films currently in the works, possibly with the same director, Adam Wingard, who made Godzilla vs. Kong, would be Son of Kong, or from that title, it would
that's what we was talking about, Son of Kong.
His son, and I guess that
after that,
raising him.
they probably still doing it.
I pumped to see. I know there's people like, how would that even work? He's the last of his kind. Oh, there's tons of ways it could work, okay? We saw on Hollow Earth, there could be others of him that he just didn't see in Godzilla vs. Kong that he meets up with as a little baby. If not, we have human characters, and well, humans love experimenting on the big monsters. They could have gone ahead and cloned good old Hairy Cheeks and gave him a son. But aside from that, I'm curious to see what they do with Godzilla, because even though I am definitely Team Hairy Cheeks and that's who I like, I want Godzilla to also have awesome movies that people enjoy.
Godzilla just do water. That's why I be saying Godzilla ain't. I mean, it's only Kong though, man. Godzilla just he only do is just swim through water and that's it. You know what I mean? It's like it's hard to do like Godzilla movies. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Kong is like it's easy. Like you can make that shit. You know what I mean? Like he do shit. Godzilla just go in water and attack motherfuckers. That's what he do. But I mean, ain't nothing to it. Shit.
Boy, and King of Monsters just wasn't it for me. And to myself, I think they really have to do something interesting with a solo Godzilla movie for me to want to step back into the theater. Do you guys hear about this? There are definite plans to continue the MonsterVerse, and they have multiple movies in mind. What movie would you want to see in the MonsterVerse? Talking about now the movie Morbius real quick. I know a lot of people might not be excited for this one as the Sony spin-off in the
when this movie gonna come out?
Shit.
I've been talking about this shit for a minute.
Well, the director was talking about his movie and kind of accidentally let slip a cameo that we're going to be seeing. Director Daniel Espinosa, while talking about how grateful he was to work on the movie Morbius, he mentioned that he loved going into work and seeing names like Michael Keaton, Jared Leto, and Tom Hardy on the call sheet for who
all
will
three of them
be
gonna
showing
be
up to
in
set that day. And well, if you don't
films.
know, Tom Hardy plays Eddie Brock in the Venom movies, so he just let it slip right there accidentally that he showed up to set on.
Oh, so it's gonna be like a crossover, pretty much like a multiverse type shit, like Marvel's doing. Sony doing the same shit.
Morbius, and Tom Hardy also was there during the film.
They're doing the same
shit,
shit,
it just
probably.
kind of continues to fuel that thing of, are we more excited to see Morbius the character, or just answering those questions of what is going on around him? Like, how is Michael Keaton's Vulture going to be explained? What is up with that mural of Spider-Man being called a murderer? And now Eddie Brock Venom in this movie? Sorry, Morbius, I want to see all that stuff. How are you guys feeling about the director of Morbius going ahead and letting it slip that we're going to be seeing Tom Hardy's Venom in the movie? And before we get into some multiverse talk with Spider-Man No Way Home, let's go ahead and talk about the other multiverse film we're very much excited for, and that is the upcoming Flash movie. Well, if you guys remember, when we were talking about the Flash movie the past couple of weeks, we saw some set photos of Ezra Miller talking to somebody who was also supposed to be playing himself, Ezra Miller. And that left us really puzzled and wondering, why the heck are there going to be two Barry Allens in the Flash movie? What does this mean? Is it just a variant that shows up in a different multiverse and they're going to pal up and team up? Well, we now have a report from the direct that claims that this other version of Barry Allen is actually said to be the villain of the film. They have it here in their article that the direct exclusively report that this other Barry Allen will serve as a primary villain in the movie, acting as a Dark Flash, antagonist to the displaced Barry Allen. This is definitely very puzzling because it seems like there's so much going on in this Flash movie. I mean, we know they're taking their own spin on the Flashpoint Paradox movie, but man, they have made some major changes instead.
They doing too much, folks. It's like Spider-Man, folks. There's a lot of shit going on with Spider-Man. This ain't with Flash. It's like, bro, they got Batman, they got Superman, they got the evil Flash, and then well, they you know, so-called Superman and shit. Kind of a Flash, kind of like a Superman. No, not Superman. Spider-Man. You got Green Goblin. You got Octopus. You got the Dr. Octopus. You got Doctor Strange. You know what I mean? You got a lot of shit going on in one movie. Like, it might be a 3-hour movie. You know what I'm saying? Type shit going on, man. All this shit, you know, adding into the movie and shit. Like, damn.
Barry Allen going into the past and saving his mother, it looks like he travels into a multiverse where his mother was never murdered and he sees that world. Instead of meeting Thomas Wayne Batman, which is the father of Bruce Wayne, he meets Michael Keaton Batman from the Tim Burton movies of the 80s. And instead of Superman being someone that was experimented on and kept in isolation, it's gonna be Supergirl, played by Sasha Calle, who is this Kryptonian that is being isolated and experimented on by humans. And now here, one of the villains of the Flashpoint Paradox was Reverse Flash, but instead it looks like it's gonna be Dark Flash, and it's also Barry Allen. Now they could be a little sneaky with us and do something smart here where maybe this other Barry Allen is supposed to be Reverse Flash, because there have been interpretations.
Yeah, it could be like Reverse Flash, like we saw in the Flash on what's called CW. So it could be a Reverse Flash, you know, basically Evil Flash. It could be that though, you know, they just don't want to say Reverse Flash probably. But yeah,
in the comics,
it could be that
Professor Thawne has actually had plastic surgery to look exactly like Barry Allen, since he has some sort of obsession with him. So maybe that's what they can explain here, that actually is Reverse Flash taking on the identity of Barry Allen. How are you guys feeling that this other Barry Allen is looking to be the villain in the Flash movie? And since we're on the subject of villains here, let's go ahead and talk about Spider-Man No Way Home, because we just got an exclusive report from One Take News. Now, I'll admit this isn't a site that we've used here on the channel before, and we're still seeing if they're very credible or not. The only reason I'm bringing them up is because they seem to have heard the same information I have, so I'm believing the things they tell us here.
Yeah, I think I got 3 people.
If you guys remember, a couple months back, I did a video where I talked about what Jamie Foxx's Electro costume would be looking like in the new Spider-Man movie, and I said they would get rid of that whole blue look, and instead they would just give him an electrician's jacket, and that would be the new look for Jamie Foxx's Electro, and it would still fit his color scheme of yellow and green. Well, here they confirm that they've heard the same thing, but they also give us details on the costumes for Dr. Octopus and Green Goblin in the movie. Now, for Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, which is already confirmed and part of the movie, we heard that shit way back. Relatively unchanged, that he would still be having the trench coat with slightly tweaked tentacles. Also, the fact that he will be de-aged, which was something that Alfred Molina mentioned, that we will pick up with his version of Doc Ock as soon as he died in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2. So that's interesting to me, because especially with what Marvel is doing and introducing the multiverse and variants, it looks like Alfred Molina is 100% the Doc Ock that we saw in Spider-Man 2, where like Jamie Foxx's Electro, we're not seeing that same Electro, we're seeing a very different of the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Same thing here, it's looking like for Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, because what they say here is that, one, not only did Kevin Feige absolutely hate the costume for Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin in the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, but that he's going to change it to, again, having an armored sort of look. They pulled up some concept art, so this isn't officially what it looks like, but this is the closest thing they could find online to what it will look like, that it will retain green, but it'll also have a lot more purple, and it'll still be sort of an armored up look for this Green Goblin. Which again, since that costume isn't exactly like the one we saw in the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, I have to think we're not going to be seeing that version of Willem Dafoe, but instead a similar alternate variant reality of Green Goblin Norman Osborn, where he does look like Willem Dafoe, but he creates a different Green Goblin costume and has slightly different scenarios. I think that's going to be the most confusing part about Spider-Man No Way Home, is we're going to continue to have that debate of, are they exactly the same characters that we saw in the movies we grew up with, or are they going to kind of Ralph Boner them and say they're very different versions? You guys are going to have to let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of these costumes for the Sinister Six? Be sure to leave your thoughts down below on that. But that is all the movie news we currently have going on right now, guys. I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Don't forget to get geeky in that comment section. Also be hitting that subscribe button and leaving a like. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.
But yeah though, man, that was the end of the video right there. You know what I mean? Spider-Man 3, Green Goblin costume, man. They got the movie, Super Mario movie, man, the Flash. Let me know what y'all think, man, in the comment below, man. Hey, let me know in the comment down below. But yeah, I'm out, y'all, man. Yeah, peace.